As the political landscape shifts once again in the United States, all eyes are focused on the upcoming inauguration of Donald Trump set for January 20, 2025. This marks the former president's second swearing-in ceremony, a historical milestone that has already stirred a mix of anticipation, anxiety, and protest across the nation. While Trump prepares to reclaim his position in the White House, the mood among key figures in the Democratic Party, particularly Vice President Kamala Harris, appears troubled, reflecting broader tensions within the party. Harris, who faced Trump in the recent election, has reportedly been feeling sad and betrayed by President Joe Biden, according to sources close to her. A recent poll indicated a significant drop in her support among Democratic voters, with a 16 percentage point decline since December. This decline has fueled speculation about her emotional state and her standing within the party as she navigates the aftermath of the election loss. Observers have noted the stark contrast between her public demeanor at recent events, including the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter, where she appeared distant alongside her husband Douglas Emhoff. The tensions between Harris and Biden have further escalated, with reports suggesting that their relationship has become strained. Insiders have described Harris's mood as one of deep disappointment, exacerbated by her belief that her path to the presidency was thwarted by Biden's actions. The fallout from the election has not only affected Harris, but also raised questions about the Democratic Party's future direction as it braces for a second Trump administration. As Trump prepares for his inauguration, the atmosphere in Washington, D.C. is charged with protest. Thousands of demonstrators have gathered for the People's March, organized by civil rights and social justice groups. These protests echo the massive demonstrations that accompanied Trump's first inauguration in 2017. Participants are rallying against a range of issues they believe will be targeted by Trump's policies, including abortion access, climate change, and immigration rights. The event is a vivid reminder of the deep divisions that persist in American society and the ongoing resistance to Trump's political agenda. In a move that has drawn significant media attention, Trump's inauguration ceremony has been moved indoors due to an impending cold front that threatens to bring record-low temperatures to the Capitol. This decision marks the first time in 4 decades that an inauguration has been held inside the Capitol Rotunda, a site that carries its own historical weight, particularly given the events of January 6, 2021, when the Capitol was breached by Trump supporters. The atmosphere surrounding the inauguration is further complicated by the prospect of swift executive actions from the incoming Trump administration. Reports suggest that Trump plans to initiate a series of immigration enforcement measures immediately upon taking office, including large-scale deportation operations targeting undocumented immigrants. This commitment to aggressive immigration policies has prompted concern among civil rights advocates and immigrant communities who fear the consequences of such actions. As the nation stands on the cusp of this significant political transition, the implications of Trump's return to power are already being felt. The Democratic Party, grappling with internal strife and public dissatisfaction, faces the challenge of recalibrating its strategy moving forward. Meanwhile, the protests and the palpable tension in Washington reflect a society deeply divided, with many rallying for a vision of America that stands in stark contrast to Trump's agenda. As the dust settles from the inauguration, it remains to be seen how both the Biden administration and the Democratic Party will respond to Trump's policies and the sentiments of disillusioned voters. The coming weeks and months are poised to be critical for both parties as they navigate a rapidly changing political landscape with significant ramifications for the future of governance in the United States. In the evolving landscape of American politics, few alliances have proven as pivotal as that between House Speaker Mike Johnson and former President Donald Trump. As the Republican Party braces itself for the next 2 years under unified control of the federal government, the dynamics of this partnership could significantly shape legislative outcomes and the GOP's broader direction. The recent events surrounding Johnson's ascension to the speakership and his relationship with Trump reveal not just personal camaraderie but a strategic alignment that underscores the delicate balance of power within the party. Johnson's recent appearances alongside Trump, including a notable outing at Madison Square Garden for a UFC event, signal a burgeoning camaraderie that could be vital for both figures. Following Trump's electoral victory over Kamala Harris, Johnson, who described himself as a nerd constitutional law guy, has positioned himself as a key player in implementing Trump's agenda. As he navigates a historically narrow majority in the House, his ability to maintain party unity will be critical. Newt Gingrich, a veteran political strategist and former House Speaker, emphasized this point, stating, "Without Trump, you could never hold the Republicans together. That means there's a good bit of give and take in that relationship." The backgrounds of Johnson and Trump starkly contrast yet align on key ideological fronts. Johnson, a devout Christian from Louisiana, has a history of championing socially conservative causes, while Trump's celebrity status and controversial history have made him a polarizing figure. Despite their differences, Johnson's politics resonate closely with Trump's brand of conservatism, which has become increasingly influential within the GOP. This alignment has solidified Johnson's position as a favored ally in Trump's quest to reshape the party, a stark departure from the challenges faced by former speakers like Paul Ryan and Kevin McCarthy. Yet the relationship is not without its complications. As Johnson attempts to govern in a chamber with a slim majority, he faces significant pressure from both Trump and a faction of ultra-conservative Republicans. Recent turmoil over a bipartisan spending bill underscores this tension. Following Trump's public condemnation of the deal, Johnson was thrust into a chaotic scramble to appease both Trump's demands and the needs of his fellow lawmakers. The situation culminated in a narrow escape from a government shutdown, but not without raising questions about Johnson's leadership and the fragility of his position. As Trump's influence looms large over Johnson's speakership, the potential for discord remains. Republican lawmakers have voiced concerns about the extent of Trump's sway, with some suggesting that Johnson's effectiveness is contingent upon his ability to deliver on Trump's priorities. Congressman Steve Womack remarked, Johnson will be strong, determined, and fight for what the president wants. That could be very difficult to achieve. This precarious balancing act will require Johnson to navigate the competing interests of his caucus while keeping Trump's base engaged. Looking ahead, the stakes are high for both Johnson and Trump as they aim to capitalize on their combined power before the 2026 midterm elections. The upcoming legislative session is poised to test their alliance, especially as they confront issues ranging from taxation to immigration reform. The political landscape suggests that Johnson's ability to retain his speakership may hinge on his relationship with Trump, while Trump in turn will need Johnson's support to advance his agenda. As the 2025 Congress unfolds, observers are bracing for a tumultuous journey. With the GOP's fragile majority and a fractured coalition, Johnson's leadership will be scrutinized more closely than ever. The interplay between Trump's populist influence and Johnson's governance could either solidify or fracture the Republican Party's unity, making this a critical period in American politics. As Womack aptly noted, stay tuned. Buckle up. Strap in. This is going to be an interesting Congress to watch. The evolving dynamics of their partnership will undoubtedly shape not only the GOP's future but also the broader political landscape in the United States.